Hidden truths about the pharaohs of Egypt, myths, mysteries, and misconceptions. The pharaohs of ancient Egypt remain among the most iconic rulers in world history, often immortalized as god-kings who built colossal pyramids, ruled with divine authority, and left behind golden tombs filled with treasures. However, beyond the grandeur and myths lies a more nuanced reality. This video uncovers lesser-known truths about the pharaohs, truths that reveal a more complex, human, and political portrait of these ancient rulers. 1. Not all pharaohs were male. A common misconception is that all pharaohs were men. In reality, several powerful women ruled as pharaohs, the most famous being Hatchepsut, who declared herself pharaoh and adopted male regalia, including a false beard. Her reign was marked by prosperity, trade expansion, and monumental construction. Sobenfru, another female pharaoh, ruled during the 12th dynasty and was the first woman to adopt the full royal titulary of a king. 2. The title, pharaoh, is a later term. The word pharaoh, from the Greek pharaoh, was not originally a title for the king. It derives from the Egyptian term Pharaoh, meaning great house, initially referring to the royal palace rather than the ruler himself. Only during the New Kingdom, circa 1570 BCE onward, did it become a term used for the person of the king. 3. Pharaohs weren't always divine or absolute. While pharaohs were considered intermediaries between the gods and the people, they were not always viewed as all-powerful. In some periods, especially during political instability like the First Intermediate Period or the Late Period, pharaohs had limited control over distant provinces, and local governors, nomarchs, held more real power. Additionally, pharaohs were often subject to checks by powerful priesthoods, especially the influential clergy of Ammonius. 4. The Great Pyramids were not built by slaves. Thanks to Hollywood and early historians like Herodotus, it is often believed that pharaohs used slave labor to build monumental structures. However, modern archaeology shows that the workers who built the pyramids were well-fed, skilled laborers, and many were likely conscripted peasants working in rotating shifts. They were provided housing, food, and even medical care. 5. Pharaohs manipulated religion for political power. Many pharaohs strategically aligned themselves with specific deities to consolidate power. For example, Akhenaten abandoned traditional polytheism to promote the worship of Aten, a sun disk, establishing one of history's earliest known forms of monotheism. While this was a radical religious shift, it also served to weaken the Ammonius priesthood and centralize authority. His actions, however, led to massive unrest and were reversed by his successors. 6. Pharaohs were sometimes foreigners. While Egypt is often thought of as racially and culturally homogeneous, several pharaohs were not ethnically Egyptian. The Hyksos, a Semitic people from the Levant, ruled Egypt during the Second Intermediate Period. Later, the 25th dynasty was ruled by Nubian pharaohs from modern-day Sudan, who embraced Egyptian culture and helped restore religious traditions. Even Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh, was of Macedonian Greek descent, a member of the Ptolemaic dynasty that followed Alexander the Great's conquest. 7. Pharaohs waged propaganda wars. Pharaohs often exaggerated military victories or omitted defeats. The famous Battle of Kadesh, circa 1274 BCE, under Ramses II was likely a draw, yet temple inscriptions portray it as a resounding Egyptian triumph. Such propaganda was widespread and crafted carefully to present the pharaoh as an invincible warrior, even when historical evidence suggests otherwise. 8. Many pharaohs were erased from history. Egyptian history contains numerous examples of damnatio memoriae, the deliberate erasure of individuals from historical records. Pharaohs like Hatshepsut, Akhenaten, and Tutankhamun had their names and images removed from monuments by successors seeking to eliminate their memory. This makes reconstructing accurate historical accounts a complex challenge for modern historians. 9. Pharaohs were family-oriented, and sometimes incestuous. Royal succession was based on divine bloodlines, and marriages between siblings or half-siblings were common among pharaohs to preserve royal purity. While this reinforced dynastic legitimacy, it also resulted in genetic disorders, particularly during the later dynasties. Tutankhamun, for instance, suffered from numerous health issues likely linked to inbreeding. 10. Not all pharaohs were wealthy. The image of pharaohs reclining on thrones of gold isn't universally accurate. Economic downturns, famine, and foreign invasions at times left rulers impoverished. By the late period, Egypt was under frequent foreign control. Assyrians, Persians, Greeks, and pharaohs often ruled as puppet kings with limited resources and authority. The pharaohs of Egypt were more than mythic figures adorned in gold and divine power. They were political strategists, religious reformers, builders, and at times, mere pawns in larger historical currents. By uncovering these lesser-known truths, we deepen our understanding of a civilization that, while shrouded in legend, was built by real people navigating the complexities of leadership, legacy, and mortality. We hope you have enjoyed watching the video. Thank you.